Hello everyone, this is Vivek Anand, Assistant Professor, Department of Management, Tirthankar Mahindra University. In the previous video, we have discussed the chapter 1 of auditing, that is Introduction to Auditing. Now, we are going to discuss chapter 2 of auditing, that is Procedure of Auditing. In this chapter, we go through with the process of auditing, some important elements regarding the process of auditing, and actual going on with the process, that is verification of assets and liabilities. And the content of this chapter is: first, preparation by an auditor before starting an audit; second, audit plan; third, audit plan and its advantages; fourth, audit file, types of audit file, content of audit file, and advantages of audit file. Next one is audit notebook, content of audit notebook, and advantages of audit notebook. Sixth is audit working papers. Next, routine checking, test checking, surprise checking, and overall checking. The eighth point is audit in depth, and we also discuss about the voucher. Next point is vouching, importance of vouching, and special consideration by an auditor while he is going with vouching. And the last one is verification of assets and liabilities. So let's start the first point, that is preparation before commencement of an audit by the auditor. Actually, when the auditor is going to start an audit, various steps have to be ensured by him to start the audit. The first one is letter of engagement. Letter of engagement is also known as appointment of auditor in a business firm. So, being an auditor, to go to start a audit assignment, the auditor is liable to get letter of appointment or letter of engagement by the management of the business concern in which the auditor is going to start the audit assignment. After getting the letter of engagement, after getting the appointment as an auditor in the particular business firm, the auditor will be authorized to do the audit assignment work in that business concern. The second step is ascertaining scope of duties. In the area of scope of duties, auditor and client decided up to which level the auditor get access for performing the audit assignment in the business firm. All the areas, all the covering elements that will be used by the auditor during the audit assignment are predetermined in the point of scope of duties of an auditor. An auditor is not allowed to go beyond the curve provided by the letter of engagement, curve provided by the letter of appointment, or limitations provided by the management policies during the appointment of auditor for auditing work. The area which is beyond the scope of auditing or auditor will not be touched by the auditor in his audit assignment. He have to restrict himself towards the scope of duties provided by the client for his audit work. Third point is ascertaining the nature of business. Means to start an audit, the auditor first analyze the nature of business, that as per the forms of business. This is an sole proprietorship or partnership or joint venture or a private or public company. According to the nature of business, auditor will plan his audit, make audit program, and start the audit work with his staff and training persons. The fourth point is knowledge of accounting system. Actually, this is a gray area where auditor have to be emphasized before starting any type of audit. This element provides that which type of accounting policies, which type of accounting traditions are followed by the client firm. According to them, the auditor have to start his accounting auditing work. Knowledge of accounting actually very must to start any type of audit, because on this basis auditor can plan his audit program. Auditor can modify his audit program. Without the knowledge of accounting system, an audit assignment cannot be done by an auditor in a better and speedy way. Next is knowledge of technical details. After the gaining the knowledge of business, accounting system, knowledge of the business, the auditor have to ensure any technical details about the business. If there is any technicality in the business or its accounting system or its nature, then this have to be also be known by the auditor for better performance of his audit work. Next point is knowledge of internal control system. This is the area where auditor can better perform in his audit work. Internal control is the system that is existed in the accounting or policy procedure in the business. So, internal control consists the internal check, internal audit that already provide the accurate and reliable data to the management. Knowledge of internal control imparts the auditor about the working process or recording of transaction process of the client business. So, with the help of knowledge of internal control, auditor can set his area, set his degree of risk assessment in the audit assignment. If he find internal control system is weaker in some areas or strong in some areas, then he can modify his audit plan. The next one is instruction to the client. This consists the extent, nature, and time of audit assignment. In this point, auditor have a meeting with client and inform that when he will start the audit and what type of registers, books of accounts, and other document will be required by the auditor to do or to start his audit assignment. And the last is division of work. In this segment, auditor instruct his staff, his assistant, or training articles to do the assigned audit work. In this point, auditor distribute the work towards the various assisting staff. The work will be distributed as per the qualification, expertise, and experience of the audit staff. So, these are the important areas where auditor have to be emphasized or prepared. Yes, everyone. After the preparation before commencement of an audit, the auditor have to go to prepare his audit plan. What is audit plan? Actually, audit plan is a future strategy to execute audit assignment by the auditor. Or as like as every work for effective and efficient conduct of an audit planning is very necessary. Without planning, no work will be performed in a better way. So, planning should be continuous throughout the course of audit assignment. The auditor should plan his work to enable him conduct an effective audit in an efficient and timely manner. During the course of audit, if auditor feels that there should be some change in the audit plan as per the requirement of going on strategy of the auditing work, then audit plan should be flexible and auditor doesn't hesitate any time to do the modification in his audit plan. So audit plan can be concluded as a strategy upon which auditor follow his work of audit assignment with his assistant to do audit assignment in a better way. It is very important for an auditor to prepare his audit plan so that he can analyze the going of or performance of audit plan during the audit assignment. And if he require any change, then he can do so. So audit plan should be flexible. Yes, for developing an audit plan, there are some elements or there are some points that should be considered by the auditor. What is that? The first is scope of work to be determined. To prepare the audit plan, an auditor have to be very much familiar that what is his area to do the work, what is his limit to do the work, and what are the curves that provided by the client for his audit assignment work. He have to ensure that he cannot go for the area or the work that is beyond the scope of his audit area. Second is knowledge about business. Knowledge about business provide a proper framework to the auditor to do the audit assignment. So, while preparing an audit plan, nature of business, number of transactions, size of business, or size of transactions should be considered by the auditor for making a better and fruitful audit plan, because all the processes, all the working of an auditor of his audit assignment is depend upon his audit plan, and audit plan will be executed by the auditor himself with his staff. The third point for making or developing an audit plan is knowledge of the accounting system. Knowledge of the accounting system imparts the auditor that which type of management policy, which type of accounting policy, which type of accounting traditions are used by the accounting system in the client business. This helps the auditor to prepare his audit plan in that way so he can easily get familiar with the accounting system of the client and do the audit assignment in a better, timely, and speedy manner. Fourth point is establishing expected degree of reliance. Actually, degree of reliance means up to what level auditor can rely upon the books of accounts provided by the client. So, he have to analyze the books of accounts by internal control system or other techniques. If internal control system is existing in the client business, then degree of reliance may be up to a high level. Or if internal control system is not existing in the client business or existing but not performing properly, then degree of reliance may be at a low level. So, to plan an audit, the auditor have to be considered the have to be emphasized on the degree of reliance segment in his audit plan. Now, fifth point, determining the nature, timing, and extent. Actually, after the determining the scope of work of audit, knowledge of business, getting knowledge of accounting system, and establishing the expected degree of lines on the books of accounts provided by the client firm. The auditor may capable to include the nature of audit, timing, and the extent of his audit plan. These are the three areas that should be in an audit plan of an auditor. Nature of audit, timing, when he will start and when he will end the audit assignment work, and extent. Extent means scope of work. And the last point for developing or making an audit plan is coordinating the work to be performed in audit assignment. Actually, the audit work will be done by the auditor and his assistant. So, which type of work will be performed by which type of staff? This should be well distributed by the auditor so that at the time of audit assignment working, smooth functioning of audit work or coordination between the work performed by the audit assistant or audit staff should be there. So, in conclusion, we can say that to develop an effective audit plan, the auditor had to be determine the scope of work, get the knowledge of business, get the familiarization with accounting system of client business, establishing the degree of risk, determining the nature, timing, extent of the audit, and coordination between the staff that perform the audit work. So, it is very important for an auditor to develop a proper audit plan for his audit assignment or audit work. An effective or proper audit plan provides various advantages to the auditor or client business. From the point of view an auditor, the following are the advantages of an audit plan. First, ensure the appropriate attention is devoted to important areas of audit. What are the important areas? Means what is the important transactions? What are the gray area that is very much important for the client business and that will also be very much important to the auditor in his audit assignment. So, with the help of a proper and effective audit plan, auditor can ensure that attention should be devoted to the important areas compulsory. You have to go with the proper due care for the whole audit assignment work. What important areas should be specifically devoted the auditors in auditors expertise. Second point, ensure that potential problems are promptly identified. An effective audit plan includes the degree of reliance or degree of risk. So, if the degree of risk is high, then auditor have to go with the deep checking of each and every transactions to find out the irregularities and frauds and errors. And this is why ensuring potential problems promptly is very much important for any business end auditing also. When the irregularities, errors, frauds find promptly, then improvement measures may be also taken promptly. So, a proper audit plan is that find the irregularities easily and speedily. Third, ensure that the work is completed in a speedy manner. In the segment of nature, time, and extent of audit plan, it have to ensure by the auditor that work is completed in a speedy manner so that the audit assignment should be end in the timely manner. The fourth point is ensure the utilization of assistant properly. Actually, audit work will be done by the auditor and his staff. So, according to the expertise, according to the knowledge, according to the experience, the audit work will be distributed to the audit staff. And this is the part of audit plan. Means with the help of audit plan, on the basis of expertise, experience, and knowledge of qualification, the use of assistant will be maximum or optimum. Fifth point, audit plan also ensures coordination between the work done by auditor and experts. This is only an audit plan which maintain the coordination between the work done by auditor and experts, because before starting the audit assignment in audit plan, auditor and his staff with a mutual meeting decided that which type of work done by which type of staff and what type of work or special work should be performed by the auditor itself. So coordination will be easily maintained by the auditor between his staff and work done by the auditor. So these are the benefits that provide by an audit plan. We can also take a look of an audit plan. This audit plan is related to the inventory verification. What is the scope? Inventory risk assessment, and audit consists of ABC hours of work. Then audit process. The audit process consists of inspection, data collection, inquiries with employees, review of documents, and other areas. If we talk about the stages, then we find the risk assessment with the help of understanding of client business, scrutiny of financial statement. Deliverables are included in this segment: compliance checklist, inventory risk checklist, suggestions. And we can also have a look on the estimated hours of time devoted for these area of audit plan. Next, further audit procedure are these. Again, they devoted 70 hours. In the reporting segment means drafting the report, follow up the meeting, discussion on risk and recommendations, incorporation of comments, final report. It will take 90 hours. And in conclusion, we expect to submit our final report for this audit by this hours. Our findings and recommendations will be discussed with the management before the submission of the final report. Actually, this is an audit plan format. For example, we can understand how an auditor can plan his audit regarding the inventory verification. Now we discuss now we discuss about the audit program. What is audit program? An audit program can be explained as the set of instructions given by the audit to his staff. Actually, when auditor is going to do the audit work, he gives some instructions to his assistants, to his staff for the purpose of performing audit work so that audit assignment or audit work will be performed in a timely and effective manner. Actually, proper implementation of any plan, any audit plan depends on a good audit program. So, audit program are the small segments that constitute combinedly an audit plan, or we can say that audit plan is developed on the basis of small audit program. Audit plan is a combination of various audit program. An audit program is set of instruction that is given by the auditor to his assistants or his audit staff for doing the audit assignment in an effective manner. Audit program is a detailed framework of auditing work which is going to be performed by the audit firm. Audit plan specified that what type of procedures to be followed in verification of each transactions or items and information contained in financial statement so that audit work will be much better and effective. Audit program provides the techniques. Audit program provide the framework to do the audit work. When an auditor or his staff do the auditing work on financial statement, then how they have to go with the transactions verification or items verification. It is provided by the audit program. So, audit program is a written scheme prepared by the auditor for what purpose? To distribute work to be followed during the audit by the audit staff. And in the preparation of a audit program, the auditor have to be involved three main things. What is that? First is how much work to be done. How much work to be done. Second, by whom it has to be done. Means which type of work should be done by the which type of audit staff. Third is what is the duration of time to be finished. Means when the audit work will start and when it will be end. So on these three bases, an auditor can prepare his audit program. And various audit program combinedly constitute a audit plan. So it is very necessary to prepare or make the audit program during the instruction given by the auditor to the audit staff so that by combining the audit program an effective audit plan may be there. In the preparation of audit program, the auditor must keep in mind size of business, composition of business, nature of business, number of transactions, big or small, of the business, and the extent of internal control. That up to what level internal control is effective in the client business. Effectiveness, whether it is weak or strong, of internal control of client business provide the help to the auditor to establish the degree of reliance on the client's books of account. The audit program may be fixed or flexible as per the nature and size of the business. So, what is all about audit program? Audit program is a set of instruction that is given by the auditor to his staff, to his assistants for better performance of audit work, specifically inclusion of how much work to be done, by whom it has to be done, and what is the duration of time to be finished the audit assignment. Audit program may be fixed or flexible. Yes, let me discuss audit file. In a time, auditor may occupied with various numbers of audits. There may be partnership audit, there may be company audit, there may be bank audit. Moreover, he is most bound to his office in order to control and coordinate the activities of his staff working at different places. To know about the progress of audit doing by his staff in different client firms, he have to maintain some record. Actually, it is very necessary to maintain the record of each audit for ready reference. When he have a meeting with clients, then he have to inform about the progress and outcomes of the audit. So, for these requirements, the auditor maintains record of each and every audit in files. They are called audit files. He himself devoted maximum time in his office, but the audit staff doing the work of audit in the client business or client business premises. And from the far away, the auditor, with the help of audit file, maintain the record and progress report of each and every client business. There may be two type of audit files: permanent audit file and current audit file. Audit file is the record existed in the auditor's office regarding each and every client firm in which the audit is going on, or on which the auditor has been completed the audit in the current year or previous year, or previous year before the previous year, and so on. So it is a document, it is an important document that provide ready reference in future at the time of requirement. In the type of audit file, let me discuss first permanent audit file. The content of these permanent audit file is as: the first is rules which govern the organization. For example, if auditor is going to conduct an audit assignment in a company, then the provisions that is applicable to the particular company or client company have to be kept in separately in the audit file of that particular client file. Copies of minutes. There are various meetings in which decisions and resolutions passed by the directors or general house or members. The copies of these minutes should be kept separately in the permanent audit file by the auditor or his staff. This type of document helps to check the compliance of management policy and management guidelines in the performance of a company or maintaining the books of accounts of a company or a firm. Third, brief description of the business. Actually, the knowledge about business are kept in this area. what is the objective to establish the business, what was the history of the business, what is the current status of the business, and what are the future plans of the business. About all these, a brief description, including the hierarchy of management, top level, middle level, and lower level, are kept in the audit file. 4 point particulars about the organization. Organizations, debtors, creditors, suppliers, and other related party information is kept under this area, so that the auditor find smoothness in his audit assignment. Fifth point, long-term agreement. If a business have some long-term agreements, then the copy of agreement, copy of terms and conditions, and any other technical point should be kept always in the permanent audit file by the auditor. Next one is copy of instruction. These are the rules and regulations provided by the management to maintain the books of accounts, to safeguard the assets, to dispose of the liabilities, and other related areas of the business. These information or copy of these instructions or rules and regulations are always kept by the auditor in permanent audit file. Next, list of books of registers. At the time of planning or starting an audit, the auditor had to get the knowledge of books in registered prepared by the client business, so that at the time of audit he will not be lacking some books or registers to perform the audit work, and all these are kept as the content of permanent audit file. Last is copies of audited financial statement. An auditor is expected to get the copy of audited financial statements of previous years in permanent audit file. This will help to the auditor to verify the opening balances of the current year and also provide the help in the analytical review procedure. So, if we analyze all these points, then we find that the stable strategies, stable specifications of a client business are always kept by an auditor in the permanent audit file for doing a effective audit assignment. Next is current audit file. Now we discuss the content of current audit file. First, the auditor have kept the audit program in current audit file. Generally, audit program always in the nature of flexibility. It may be changed time to time as per the outcomes of the audit, and it is the content of current audit file. Second is internal control questionnaires. To establish the degree of reliance or degree of risk assessment, an auditor is expected to analyze the internal control by questionnaire strategies, or it may be done with the help of direct inquiry or interviews with the management and client firm staff. And this is the content of current audit file. Bank and petty cash reconciliation statement. If there is any difference find between the actual cash and balance maintained at bank. Then reconciliation should be there, and all these have to be kept in the current audit file of the client business. Fourth is brief note for discussion. These are the points, that is the observation of client business that should be discussed by the auditor with the management. This discussion occur maybe day to day, means after the day, or between 1 or 2 days of internal gap, so that audit observation should be forwarded to the management and prompt action should be there. Fifth, weakness in the internal control system. It is the liability of the auditor that if any type of weakness in any part or internal control he find, then it should be noted in the current audit file and promptly forwarded to the management for elimination. Next is various calculation. At the time of audit, various calculations are there for verifying various figures contained in profit and loss account, cash flow statement, profit and loss account, asset side, liability side, bank statement, etc., reconciliation statements, and other. So, for the verification of these figures, if any calculation is performed by the auditor and his staff, that should be kept for future reference in current audit file. Letters. Next point, letters received from debtors and creditors. Actually, balances contained in balance sheet regarding debtors and creditors are verified by the external evidences, that is in form of letters received from the debtors and creditors. These letters are also the content of current audit file. Last is draft financial statement. On the basis of audit assignment, verification, analysis, vouching, checking, auditor prepared a draft financial statement that he will discuss with the management before finalization. So, this type of draft financial statement are also the part of or content of current audit file. So, the matters that have changed in a short time due to flexibility are content of current audit file, and the matters that are permanent in nature is always kept in permanent audit file. As audit file have two types, permanent and current. So, content of permanent audit file and current audit file have also a difference. These type of content have a quality of permanency, and these content of current audit file having flexible quality. It is good and always suggested that auditor have to maintain audit file. Actually, he maintains permanent and audit file because there are various benefits, advantages of maintaining audit file by an auditor. Let us discuss the advantages of audit file. First is ready reference. Means if a auditor maintains the audit file, and in audit file he kept various types of information, calculations, minutes of meetings, and other information that he will use as a ready reference in future in any meeting, at the time of any dispute, and at the time of providing some evidences. Second, help to develop audit plan on the basis of previous year's audit file or in the current year's audit file, what he observed in audit. On that basis, he can go with his audit plan, or he can modify his audit plan on the basis of outcomes of the current audit assignment. So it is very important to maintain an audit file by the auditor to follow his audit plan or modify his audit plan. Third, useful for forming an opinion. Actually, reporting or giving opinion is the last step of auditing process. But an auditor provide an opinion or give the audit report on the observations done during the audit assignment. And all the observations, all the important observations, all the important information are kept in audit file. So while the auditor is going to report or is going to give his opinion on the audit assignment, the audit file provide the reference, the audit file provide the base. So it is very much important to maintain the audit file by an auditor. Fourth, increase efficiency in audit procedures. Actually, observations provided by the audit file provide help to change or modify the audit program and audit plan also. And by the changing, by the modification, the audit program and audit plan, an auditor can increase the efficiency or effectiveness of his audit work and audit processes. Point 5. Provide necessary information to auditor for giving suggestions. Time to time during the audit assignment, auditor conduct the meeting with management and discuss the important point or weaker areas of internal control system, and information regarding the weaker areas of internal control system or important information observed during the audit are only provided by the audit file, because each and every important information that may be discussed with the management is always kept in the audit file maintained by the auditor. So, audit file always provide necessary information to auditor for giving suggestions, and only the observation that kept in the audit file will provide the help to give the suggestion by the auditor to the client business or management. So, there are various type of advantages of audit file that enable the auditor to do his audit work in an efficient and effective manner. Now we are going to discuss another firm that is related to audit file. This is audit notebook. As the name is some, audit notebook. It is as like as a diary or register that is maintained by the audit staff during the audit assignment. The audit staff keep a record of his observations while he is doing the audit work. He also notes the important point and inquiries which he has to forward to the officials of his client or to discuss with his senior or the auditor himself. So, the audit notebook is also used for recording important point to be included in the auditor's report. It is complete record of doubts and their clarifications. So, the use of this book has become important to keep an exhaustive records of inquiries made, replies received thereto, correspondence, etc. This is differ from audit file. Audit file is made by the auditor or kept by the auditor in his office, while audit notebook, this is carried by the audit staff at the client visits during the working in audit assignment, and whatever observation get by the audit staff always note down in this diary or register or in this audit note. And at the end of the day, audit staff forwarded or discussed it to the seniors, to the auditors, or with the client, as the case may be. So, from the point of view of audit staff, audit notebook is very important. Then, what type of information, what type of element, what type of point are kept by the audit staff in audit notebook? Let me discuss. Content of audit notebook. All these important points, if audit staff observe during the audit assignment, then he note down all these points or some of these points in his audit notebook. First is technical detail of business. If an audit staff finds some technical detail during his audit work, then he note down this in audit notebook. Queries during audit work. If audit staff finds some queries, then he note down in audit notebook. Frauds and errors found. Actually, the main objective of auditing is to find the true and fair view, and as a subsidiary objective, detection and prevention from frauds and errors. So in this case, if the audit staff find any type of fraud, any type of error, then he is expected to note it in his audit notebook. Detail to be included in audit report. In the process of audit work, sometimes audit staff find some important point, some important transactions or balances that should be mentioned in the audit report. As per the instruction of his auditor or head, he note down all these in his audit note. Next is notes regarding system of maintaining accounting. Means what type of accounting system is followed by the client business. It is very necessary that it should be noted by the audit staff in his notebook. 6. Information needed in future. During the audit work, many times audit staff finds that there should be more information or queries on this particular area or transaction or balance. Then this is the liability of audit staff that point should be noted by him in his audit notebook so that in future or after the day he can get a meeting with management or with senior audit staff or with auditor as the case may be. 7. Names of responsible officials. At the time of audit work, it is expected from an audit staff that important office bearers' names should be noted down by him in his audit notebook so that queries related to them quickly raised by the audit staff and quick or prompt measures should be taken or reply should be taken. Record of important correspondence regarding the verification of balances of debtors, balances of creditors. If auditor uses the correspondence, then record of these correspondence should be noted by the audit staff in audit notebook. 9. total of important ledger account. Actually, in the ledger accounts, there may be very important heads, there may be less important heads. So, all the important ledger accounts information, balances or total should be noted by the audit staff in notebook for future reference. 10. Progress of auditing work. Audit staff at what level he is in audit plan, how much work he has done, on what point he is going with the audit work, and how much work he will do in future. All these information should be kept in audit notebook so that progress of audit work may be informed to the client, to the senior audit staff or auditor himself. Next is record of suggestions made by audit staff. Many times audit staff give suggestions for the queries, for the mistakes at the time of audit work. All these suggestions, all these replies given by the audit staff should be taken in audit notebook. Last is description of internal check system. If in the client business internal control system is existed, then audit staff have to analyze that in internal control system whether internal check is there or not. If under internal control system internal check system is there and working effectively or weakly, it should be noted by the audit staff in his audit notebook so that he can convey it to the auditor to modify his audit program or audit plan. So, all these are elements that should be cope up or find out by the audit staff in audit work. All these are required to be noted down by audit staff in his audit note because they help a lot. Various advantages provided by the audit note. Okay, let we discuss advantages of audit note. First point, evidence in court of law. All the matters contains of audit notebook the matters contained in audit notebook will be taken as an valid evidence in court of law at the time of any dispute. So, it is very necessary to maintain the audit notebook. Second, ready reference. In future, if we find any requirement to get the information of the particular audit work, then audit notebook will fulfill this requirement of the client and auditor also. And in this sense, audit notebook play a role for ready reference. Third is help to develop audit plan as like as audit file. Audit notebook also provide the exact position of the work going on in an audit assignment, and on the basis of observation of audit assignment, an auditor can change or modify his audit program and audit plan also. 4 point, useful for forming an opinion. Actually, auditor is capable to give an opinion or give an report only on the basis of observations of audit assignment. And observations or important informations of audit assignment is only kept in audit file or audit notebook maintained by the audit staff. So, in this sense, audit notebook provide the help to the auditor for forming an opinion. Next is increases efficiency in audit. Active audit on the basis of observation or information contained in audit notebook. An auditor can change his audit program and change his audit plan, and by this he can give effectiveness or efficiency to his office audit procedures to perform the audit work in a better manner. Last is provide necessary information to auditor for giving suggestions. Being all information, all the observations, all the outcomes are kept in audit file or audit notebook by the auditor or audit staff. So, if an auditor want to give some important suggestion to the client, then he have to refer the information or observation kept in the audit file or audit notebook. So, in this sense, audit notebook provides various advantages to the audit and audit firm, even for the client also.